The little fish who swam to the ocean.
In a clear little river, there lived a tiny fish. Every day, he played happily with his friends among the water plants. But at night, when the stars shone on the surface of the river, the little fish always looked up and wondered, what's at the other end of the river? If I keep swimming, will I really reach the ocean? His friends giggled and said, the ocean is so far away. You're so small. How could you ever get there? The little fish felt a little sad, but deep inside, a small voice whispered, try it. You can do it. The very next morning, the little fish decided to begin his journey. He said goodbye to his family and friends and followed the current downstream. He said goodbye to his family and friends and followed the current downstream. The water tumbled and swirled, making it hard to breathe. Should I turn back? He thought, his tiny heart filled with fear. But then he remembered his dream of the ocean. So he pushed with all his strength. Again and again, the waves pushed him back. But again and again, he swam forward with all his might. At last, he broke free of the rapids and slipped into calm, shining water. Sunlight sparkled down through the surface, and the little fish felt his courage grow. I did it. I really can keep going. Soon, he swam into a dark, shadowy waterway. There was almost no light, and strange sounds echoed all around him. He curled up in fear. Just then, a group of tiny glowing shrimps swam by. They said gently, don't be afraid. We'll go with you for a while. With their glowing light beside him, the little fish made it safely through the darkness. He learned something new. Sometimes courage comes from friends who care. Finally, one day, the water grew wide. It began to taste salty, and big waves rolled and splashed around him. The little fish opened his eyes wide. Right in front of him stretched the endless, shining ocean. He shouted with joy, I really did it. All around him were tall coral reefs, schools of colorful fish, and the boundless freedom of the sea. The little fish was still small, but he knew this. Because he was brave and never gave up, he had found a wide, beautiful world all his own. Dear little one, do you also have a dream that feels too far or too hard? Maybe some people doubt you. Maybe the journey feels scary. But if you're like the little fish brave, steady, and never giving up one day, you'll reach your very own ocean too. Now, gently close your eyes. Imagine yourself swimming free in the ocean of your dreams. Now, gently close your eyes. Imagine yourself swimming free in the ocean of your dreams.
Anne's first stage.
In a lively school, little Anne sat at the very back of the classroom, and his heart was beating super fast. Because today was the very first time in his life that he had to stand on stage and perform in front of the whole school. The teacher patted his shoulder with a smile and said, Anne, don't be scared. Everyone is excited to hear you sing, and nodded, but his hands were already sweaty. He whispered in his heart, what if I sing the wrong notes? Will everyone laugh at me? The show began. One by one, classmates went on stage. Some danced, some played the piano, and some told funny jokes. Everyone clapped and cheered for them. Finally, it was Anne's turn. He walked to the middle of the stage, holding the microphone tightly. The spotlight shone on him, and the whole room went quiet. All he could hear was his own breathing. Anne's legs shook, and his voice got stuck in his throat. Nothing came out. Go, Anne, shouted his friend Me from the audience. Soon more voices joined in, and you can do it. At that moment, Anne took a deep breath. He remembered what his mom always said. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means even when you're scared, you still try. Slowly, and closed his eyes and focused on the music. When the music started, his voice trembled a little, but soon he found the rhythm. He sang steadier, braver, louder. The fear on stage turned into a special kind of power. The classmates listened quietly, their eyes shining. When the song ended, the whole room burst into loud applause, like a warm wave lapping and all around. Anne's face turned red, but this time he smiled. He realized being on stage wasn't so scary after all. He realized that when you take that very first step, you'll find out job, Anne. Today you didn't just sing a song. You showed everyone that courage helps us grow. Dear little friend, have you ever felt nervous about speaking or performing in front of others? Remember Anne's story. Everyone feels nervous the first time, but if you give it a try, you'll discover that you are braver than you think. Now, take a deep breath and quietly say to yourself, I can do it. Believe in yourself next time you step on stage, you'll shine bright too.
The little lighthouse on the snowy.
Far away in the north, there stood a tall, snowy mountain that reached up into the clouds. Halfway up the mountain, there was a little lighthouse. But this lighthouse was different from the ones by the sea. It didn't guide ships. Instead, it shone its light for travelers trying to cross the snowy mountain. Inside the lighthouse lived a young keeper. Every day, he pushed open the heavy wooden door, stepped into the freezing wind and falling snow, and lit the big, bright flame. As long as there is light, travelers won't get lost. That was the reminder his father left him. But winters on the snowy mountain were very, very long. Storms could last for days, and food slowly ran out. Sometimes the keeper wondered, maybe people would still find their way without this light. Does it really matter that I work so hard to keep it shining? His heart began to doubt. One night, the storm was fiercer than ever. The wind roared, snowflakes filled the sky, and even the flame inside the lighthouse started to shake. The keeper stared at the weak, flickering light. He thought, should I keep going? Or maybe just let the fire go out? After all, outside is only dark and white everywhere. Just then, he heard voices from down the mountain path. The lighthouse light is still on. Through the blizzard came a group of tired travelers. Some carried children, some held up the elderly. Their eyes, though weary, sparkled with hope given by that little light. The keeper froze. The flame he once doubted was really guiding people out of the darkness. At once, he rushed to make the fire brighter, shielding it with all his strength against the storm. Slowly, the flame grew strong again, shining across the snowy night sky. The travelers finally made it safely down to the village. Before leaving, they turned back and saw the little glow of the lighthouse. Their eyes were filled with gratitude. That night, the keeper finally understood. Sometimes, one small light may not change the whole world, but at the right moment, it can save someone's hope. From then on, he never doubted himself again. No matter how cold the winter, he stood firmly on the snowy mountain, guarding the light. Because he knew, in every traveler's footsteps, there was a little lighthouse quietly watching over them.
The little boat and the big storm.
On the wide, endless ocean, there floated a small wooden boat. This boat wasn't big. Its body was smooth from years of waves and wind. It looked ordinary, but inside it carried a big dream. One day, it wished to sail far away and discover the secrets of the sea. Every day, the little boat watched the big ships carrying travelers across the ocean. It longed to follow them. I want to try too, the little boat often whispered to itself. Finally, one morning, its chance came. The boatman pushed the little boat out of the harbor, ready to take a few fishermen out to sea. The little boat trembled with excitement. This was its very first journey into the deep, open ocean. At first, the sea was calm. Sunlight sparkled on the waves, and seagulls soared high in the sky. The little boat rocked gently, listening to the fishermen's laughter. It felt so happy. Sailing is wonderful, it thought with joy. But soon, everything changed. Dark clouds covered the sky. The wind howled, and giant waves rose higher and higher, crashing down on the little boat like giants with heavy fists. Hold on, don't let the boat flip over, the fishermen shouted in panic. The little boat grew frightened. It was lifted high by the waves, then slammed down again and again. It had never faced anything so terrifying. I can't do this anymore. The little boat trembled with fear. The storm raged on. The waves roared, the wind screamed, and the night wrapped the boat in darkness. Just when the little boat was about to give up, it heard the fishermen's voices from inside the cabin. "Little boat, don't give up. We believe in you." Those words felt like a warm light shining inside its heart. The little boat remembered its dream to explore the ocean, to see what lay beyond. "If I give up now, I'll never reach the horizon," it thought. So the little boat took a deep breath and gathered all its strength. It braced itself against the waves, swaying left and right, steadying its body, refusing to tip over. Again and again, the waves attacked. But the little boat endured, like a brave little warrior. Though the waves were 100 times bigger than it, the boat did not run away. At last, after a long stormy night, the dawn broke through the heavy clouds. The sea grew calm. The wind stopped. The waves turned gentle once more. The little boat was scratched and soaked, but it was still afloat, still sailing forward. The fishermen cheered and patted its sides. "Little boat, you did it. Without you, we would have been lost to the sea." A wave of pride filled the little boat's heart. It now understood something important. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to keep going, even when you are afraid. From that day on, the little boat never envied the big ships again, because it knew even with its small body, it could protect others, carry hope, and chase after its own dream.
The little fox afraid of the dark.
Deep in the forest lived a little fox. It had soft fur, bright sparkling eyes, and could run swiftly and gracefully. But the little fox had a secret. It was terribly afraid of the dark. Every night, when the moon rose and the stars began to twinkle, the forest grew quiet. The little fox would curl up in its den, holding its tail tightly. It was afraid that monsters hid in the darkness, afraid that the wind's whispers were scary voices, afraid that the rustling sounds might turn into something frightening. Sometimes it was so scared that it didn't even dare to close its eyes. One evening, a sudden cry for help, help, echoed through the forest. "Help! Little Rabbit is stuck inside a tree hole." The animals panicked. The rabbit was stuck deep inside. Someone had to crawl into the pitch-black hole to save her. But Bear was too big to fit, and Bird was too small to help. At last, every eye turned to the little fox. "Little fox, you're the quickest and nimblest. You can do it." The little fox's heart jumped. But the hole was so dark. Its paws trembled with fear. It wanted to run away. But then it heard Little Rabbit crying inside. "I'm so scared. Please help me." The little fox's heart tightened. It took a deep breath and told itself, "Right now, Little Rabbit is even more afraid than I am. I can't turn away." So though its legs were shaking, the little fox stepped toward the dark tree hole. Inside, it was black as ink. The little fox couldn't see anything. It could only follow the sound of Little Rabbit's voice, step by step, deeper into the darkness. Though its heart was pounding with fear, it kept reminding itself, the darkness isn't a monster. It's only the place where light is missing. Finally, it reached Little Rabbit. "I'm here. Don't be afraid," whispered the little fox. It pushed and pulled with all its strength, until at last, Little Rabbit was free. When they crawled out of the tree hole, the stars were shining brightly across the forest. Little Rabbit hugged the fox tightly, crying with relief. "Thank you. You're my big hero." All the animals cheered together. "Little Fox is so brave." The little fox froze for a moment, then slowly lifted its head. The night sky above sparkled with stars and moonlight. The darkness that had once seemed so frightening now looked gentle and beautiful. In that moment, the little fox understood. The dark wasn't truly scary. The fear came from not daring to face it. With even a little courage, the darkness could become a sky that guarded dreams. From that day on, the little fox still sometimes felt afraid at night. But it learned to look up at the stars and tell itself, "I can do this because I have already found the light within the dark."
The little hero who lost a tooth.
Early in the morning, sunlight poured through the curtains. Zhao Ji stood in front of the mirror, opening his mouth wide and staring at a wobbly tooth. "Ah, it's about to fall out," he whispered, feeling both nervous and excited. At school, kids often said, "Only children who aren't afraid of losing teeth are the real little heroes." But Zhao Ji secretly worried. What if it hurts a lot? What if there's so much blood? That afternoon, when the bell rang, the playground filled with children eager to play jump rope. Zhao Ji wanted to join too, but every time he spoke, his tooth wiggled even more. Zhao Ji, what's wrong with your tooth? Asked Zhao Mi, pointing at his mouth. Just then, a loud cry for help rang out. A ball had gotten stuck high in the branches of a tree. He took a deep breath, gathered his courage, and began climbing the tree. Suddenly, crack, his tooth fell out. At last, he stretched out his hand and grabbed the ball. Yay! Zhao Ji did it. The children cheered. He grinned as he handed the ball back to them, though a tiny drop of blood showed at the corner of his mouth. Does it hurt? Zhao Mi asked with worry. When he got home, his mom gently rinsed his mouth and placed the tiny tooth in a little box. Zhao Ji held the small box tightly. Warmth filled his heart. That night, moonlight spilled into his room. Zhao Ji placed the little box under his pillow and made a quiet wish. And with a smile on his face, the little hero who lost a tooth drifted into a sweet, peaceful dream.
The brave heart and the jump rope.
Today was the school sports day. The playground buzzed with excitement. Colorful flags waved in the wind, and cheers filled the air. Xiaoya stood in line, holding her jump rope tightly. It was her very first time joining the class jump rope race. But her heart was pounding hard. Just a week ago, she had tripped during practice, falling painfully to the ground. Her knee still had a scab. What if I fall again? What if everyone laughs at me? Her classmate Zhu Ming patted her shoulder with a smile. It's okay, he said. We'll try our best together. Soon, it was their class's turn. The whistle blew tweet. Everyone began swinging their ropes in perfect rhythm. But suddenly slip, whack. The rope slapped against her foot. She stopped. Her face turned bright red. Zhao Ya, don't give up. Come back. Zhao Ya froze. Tears welled up in her eyes. She saw her mom on the sidelines, waving gently. Her mother's gaze was warm yet firm, as if saying, be brave. You can do it. Zhao Ya bit her lip. I can do this. I will not give up. She picked up her rope again and jumped back into the line. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, swish, swish, swish. Something magical happened. Zhao Ya grew steadier with each jump. Her determination inspired her classmates too. At last, the whistle blew again tweet. The race was over. The playground thundered with applause. Breathless, Zhao Ya's face glowed with a wide smile. Zhao Ming gave her a big thumbs up. Being brave doesn't mean never falling. It means standing back up after you fall. She lifted her head toward the sky. Above, a little star twinkled through the clouds. True courage isn't about winning the race. It's about choosing not to give up, even when you are afraid.
The story of the butterfly breaking free.
On the branch of a tall tree, there hung a tiny cocoon. Inside lived a little caterpillar named Xiao Qing. After a long, long sleep, Xiao Qing finally woke up. She felt her body changing inside the cocoon. A pair of wings was slowly unfolding. Xiao Qing knew she was about to become a butterfly. But before that could happen, she had to do one important thing. She needed to break free from the thick cocoon all by herself. Xiao Qing began to twist and push with all her strength. Crack, crack. The cocoon made tiny sounds, but the opening was still far too small. Soon she felt exhausted. Why is this so hard? Maybe I should just give up. Just then, a little bird landed on the branch, and saw Shao Shung struggling. The bird thought, "Oh dear, she looks so tired. Should I help her?" With its sharp beak, the bird pecked at the cocoon, trying to make the hole bigger. "No, please don't. This is something I must do on my own." Days passed by. Zhao Qing tried again and again. She failed many times, but each time she gathered her courage and tried once more. She gritted her teeth, pushed and twisted, even when her wings ached from the pressure, even when her body was soaked in sweat. Finally, one early morning, as the first sunlight shone down, pop! The cocoon split open. Zhao Qing pushed with all her strength and wriggled out. She fell onto the branch, gasping for air, her whole body wet and tired. But then, as the gentle wind blew, her wings slowly unfolded. They shimmered with dazzling colors. The little bird cried out, "Wow, you are so beautiful." Xiao Qing smiled and said, "It's because of the struggle that my wings have strength." And in that moment, Xiao Qing was no longer a caterpillar. She was a butterfly. The butterfly flapped her wings and soared into the sky, higher and higher, farther and farther, carrying hope and courage to every living thing below. That day, the little bird finally understood. Some parts of growing up cannot be done by others. Some acts of bravery must be lived through yourself. And the butterfly's figure, shining in the sunlight, was like a beautiful song, reminding every child true beauty comes from effort and perseverance.
Bunny share carrot.
On a green, grassy field, the sun was just rising, and the morning dew sparkled on the leaves. A little bunny hopped happily around the meadow, because today it had found a whole basket full. The bunny smiled and said, "Wow, what a big harvest today." Just then, the bunny noticed a little squirrel nearby, holding its tummy. The squirrel's eyes were staring at the carrots, and it looked really hungry. The squirrel whispered, "Those look so yummy." The bunny looked at the big basket of carrots and thought, "I can't finish all of these by myself. Maybe I should share some with the squirrel." So the bunny picked up the biggest, reddest carrot and walked over. The bunny said, "Here, this one's for you. Let's eat together. It'll taste even sweeter." The squirrel's eyes lit up as it took the carrot. "Really? For me? Thank you so much, bunny." The squirrel took a bite, and its face lit up with happiness. The bunny also nibbled on its own carrot. Side by side, the two little friends sat on the grass, munching and chatting. The wind blew gently, and the sunlight covered the meadow in gold. The squirrel suddenly said, "Bunny, you know what? This is the happiest moment of my day." The bunny laughed, "Me too." They both realized that sharing doesn't make you have less. It makes your heart feel even fuller. Just like the flowers on the meadow, the more they spread, the more beautiful they become. Dear little one, when you learn to share, you're not only giving a gift to someone else, you're also giving yourself a little piece of happiness. Now, close your eyes and think, did you share something today? Good night, sweet dreams.
Two little bears build houses.
Deep in the forest, there lived two best friends, two little bears. One was called Big Bear. He was very strong and loved carrying heavy things. The other was Little Bear. He wasn't as strong, but he was super smart and always thought of clever ideas. One day, they sat under a tree chatting. Big Bear sighed. "Wouldn't it be wonderful if we had our very own little wooden house?" Little Bear's eyes lit up. "Yes, then we could live inside, and when it rains, we wouldn't get wet at all." So they decided to build a little house together. Big Bear went into the forest to carry big logs. The wood was heavy, but he didn't mind. Step by step, he brought them back. Meanwhile, Little Bear held some tools, measuring and figuring out how to fit the wood together. At first, things didn't go smoothly. One time, Big Bear brought back a log so large that Little Bear couldn't move it at all. Little Bear sighed, "Oh no, how can we ever build this house?" Big Bear saw that his friend felt a bit down. He patted Little Bear on the shoulder and said, "Don't worry. Let's think of a way together. 1, 2, 3. Together, they lifted the heavy log, little by little. Big Bear laughed. "Wow! When brains and strength work together, we're unstoppable." Little Bear grinned. "Yep, that's our secret power." Day by day, their wooden house slowly took shape. It had walls, windows, and even a small door. They worked hard, but while singing and laughing, time passed quickly. Finally, the little house was finished. Little Bear hung a lantern on the wall, and Big Bear laid down a soft bed. They sat at the doorway, watching the sunset paint the sky golden. Little Bear whispered, "We really did it." Big Bear nodded. "Yes. If I were alone, I could never have built this. But with you, together, we made it happen." They both smiled because they understood something important. A true friend isn't just someone who plays with you, but someone who works with you when things are tough. Dear little one, when you work together with a friend, you'll see having help makes you happier and stronger than being alone. Now gently close your eyes and think, who would you like to build a little house with? Good night, sweet dreams.
The bird borrowing wings.
In a quiet forest, there lived a little bird. It used to love flying high in the sky, singing happy songs. But one day, the little bird hurt its wing. No matter how hard it tried, it just couldn't fly anymore. The bird stood silently on a branch, watching the other birds soar freely above. Tears sparkled in its eyes as it thought, if only I could fly again, just like before. Day after day, the little bird grew more and more quiet. It stopped singing, it stopped hopping around, it only gazed at the wide blue sky. One afternoon, a gentle dove came flying by. The dove landed beside the little bird and asked softly, "Little bird, what's wrong? Why do you look so sad?" The bird lowered its head and whispered, "My wing is hurt. I can't fly into the sky anymore, and it makes me so sad." The dove's eyes filled with kindness. "Don't worry," the dove said gently. "You're not alone. How about borrowing my wings?" The little bird looked up in surprise. "Your wings? But how could that work?" The dove smiled. "Come on, hop on my back. Hold on tight, and together we'll see the sky." Slowly, the little bird climbed onto the dove's back and held on with all its strength. The dove spread its snow-white wings and lifted them both into the air. The wind brushed softly past, and the little bird felt the joy of freedom again. It closed its eyes, stretched out its tiny arms, and for a moment, it felt like it had wings of its own. The bird laughed happily and said, "Thank you. Even though I'm hurt, I can still see the sky." The dove answered, "Of course, we're friends. Sometimes you don't have to do everything alone to feel the beauty of your dreams." That day, the forest once again filled with the little bird's song. Its wings were still healing, but with a friend by its side, its heart grew stronger and warmer than ever before. Dear little one, when you face troubles, don't be afraid to ask for help. Because true friendship is like a pair of wings. It can carry you through hard times and show you a wider, brighter sky. Now, gently close your eyes and think, who would you like to fly with today? Good night, sweet dreams.
stones and frogs by the river.
By a clear little river, there stood a quiet, big rock. Every day, the rock stayed in the same place, watching the water flow and the little fish swim by. The scenery was beautiful, but deep inside, the rock sometimes felt a little lonely. One day, a lively little frog hopped onto the rock. Thump! The rock gave a little shake and couldn't help but smile. The frog looked up at the sky and said happily, "Wow, the view here is amazing." The rock asked softly, "Little frog, why did you jump onto me?" The frog grinned, "Because I was tired. And you're the comfiest resting spot around." From that day on, the little frog often hopped onto the rock. Sometimes it sang songs, sometimes it basked in the warm sun. Little by little, the rock began to feel that life wasn't just about water and wind anymore now. There was happiness too. But one day, dark clouds rolled in and heavy rain poured down. The river rose quickly, and the little frog shook with fear. "Oh no, what if the water sweeps me away?" The rock stood firm in the middle of the river and said, "Don't be afraid. Stay on me, I'll protect you." The frog pressed close to the rock. The rushing water slapped hard against them, but the rock never moved. After a while, the rain stopped and the river slowly calmed down. The frog let out a big sigh of relief. "Phew, I don't know what I would have done without you." The rock smiled. "And because of you, I'm no longer lonely. It feels wonderful to be needed." The frog patted the rock and said, "We'll always be best friends, right?" The rock nodded, its heart warm and happy. From then on, the frog and the rock spent their days together. One sang songs, the other listened quietly. One loved to hop, the other stood steady and strong. They realized that true friendship doesn't mean being the same. It means being there for each other. Dear little one, some people in life are like the frog, playful and cheerful. Some are like the rock, steady and reliable. And when they come together, they can be the best of friends. Now, gently close your eyes and think, who are the frogs and rocks in your life? Good night, sweet dreams.
The puppy's toy surprise.
In a little village, there lived a sweet little puppy. The puppy had a basket full of toys, bouncy balls, soft dolls, and even a squeaky little bone. Every day, the puppy loved to take the toys out to play. But no matter how much fun it had, something always felt just a little bit missing. One day, the puppy saw a bunny sitting on the grass. The bunny's long ears drooped down, and it looked very sad. The puppy trotted over and asked, "Bunny, what's wrong?" The bunny whispered, "I lost my favorite carrot doll today, and now I feel so sad." The puppy thought for a moment and ran back home. It peeked into its basket and chose one of its favorite toys, a soft little doll. Then the puppy hurried back, placed it in front of the bunny, and said with a big smile, "This is for you." The bunny's eyes sparkled. It hugged the doll tightly and said, "Thank you, puppy. You're so kind." From that day on, the puppy discovered a wonderful secret. Toys aren't just for playing by yourself. When you give them to a friend who needs them, the joy grows even bigger. Later, the puppy gave a little ball to the deer, because the deer loved to chase after it. And the squeaky bone went to the kitten, because the kitten thought the silly squeak was so much fun. Every time the puppy shared a toy, its heart felt warm and happy. The basket slowly grew emptier, but the puppy's heart was filling up with more and more smiles and friendship. One evening, the puppy looked up at the sky and whispered, "The best surprise isn't getting a gift, it's giving joy to someone else." Dear little one, when you share with others, you'll see happiness doesn't get smaller. It grows and grows, just like a big shining star. Now, gently close your eyes and think, If you had a very special toy, who would you like to share it with? Good night, sweet dreams.
Kitten learns to say thank you.
In a little town, there lived a playful little kitten. This kitten loved it when others did things for her. The bunny picked fruit for her. The puppy carried things for her. And even the little bird sang songs to help her fall asleep. But the kitten only smiled each time. She never said the words, "Thank you." Her friends still liked her, but deep down, they felt just a tiny bit sad. One day, the kitten tried to climb a tall tree to get an apple. But oops, she slipped. Luckily, the puppy caught her just in time. The puppy panted, patting his chest. "Phew, I'm glad you're okay. Kitten, shouldn't you say something to the ones who help you?" The kitten blinked and tilted her head. "Say what?" At that moment, the little bird flew by and gently reminded her, "When someone helps you, you can say thank you. It's a warm way to show you care." The kitten tried it out. Thank you." Her voice was a little shy, but the puppy's eyes lit up and he smiled right away. From that day on, whenever someone helped her, the kitten would say with all her heart, "Thank you." And she soon discovered something magical. Those two little words not only made her friends happy, they also filled her own heart with warmth. Dear little one, thank you may be just two small words, but they shine like tiny stars, brightening another's heart and lighting up your own world too. Now, gently close your eyes. Think of someone you want to thank today and carry a soft, glowing thank you with you into dreamland. Good night, sweet dreams.
Star wishes exchange.
Up in the night sky, there was a twinkling little star. Every day, the star watched the children on earth, listening as they whispered their secret wishes. One night, the star heard a little girl's wish. "I hope my mommy gets better soon and won't be sick anymore." The star felt so touched. But you know what? The star also had a wish of its own. Softly, it whispered to the girl, "Little one, would you like to trade wishes with me?" The girl's eyes grew wide with curiosity. Trade wishes? What does that mean? The star smiled gently. "I'll guard your wish, and you can help me with mine. My wish is that all the children on earth can smile." The little girl nodded and promised. From that day on, she tried her very best to share her smile. She smiled at her mommy. She smiled at her classmates. She even smiled at the kitty sitting by the road. And high above, the little star shone brightly, keeping the girl's wish safe in its light. Not long after, the girl's mommy really did start to feel better. Dear little one, maybe stars can't help us with their hands, but they can give us hope and courage. And every time we share a smile, we are helping to make the star's wish come true. So now, look up at the sky and think, what wish would you like to trade with a star? Carry that sparkly thought into your dreams. Good night, sweet dreams.
Friends on the Rainbow Bridge.
On a wide, open meadow, the sky always stretched so high and so blue. One day, after a heavy rain, a beautiful rainbow appeared in the sky. It looked just like a bridge, connecting one end of the meadow all the way up into the sparkling sky. A little deer stood on the grass, eyes shining with wonder. "Wow, such a beautiful rainbow," the deer whispered. "If I walk across it, maybe I'll meet new friends." So, step by step, the deer carefully walked onto the rainbow bridge. The rainbow glowed with 7 bright colors, soft and gentle, almost like fluffy clouds. As the deer walked, it met a little bird from the clouds. The bird spread its wings and said, "Hello, little deer. I'm a skylark. I live up here in the sky and sing songs every day." The deer's face lit up with joy. "Hello, I've never had a friend in the sky before." The two new friends walked together across the rainbow, chatting and laughing, their voices floating away like the breeze. At the far end of the rainbow, the deer saw a bunny who lived beside the stars. The bunny said, "Every evening I wait for the sun to set so I can light up the stars. I'm so happy to meet you." The deer and the bird smiled and patted the bunny's shoulder. "Then we'll come and keep you company every day, okay?" The bunny's eyes sparkled even brighter than the stars. And so, 3 new friends were made. Sometimes the bird brought its songs. Sometimes the bunny shared the twinkling starlight, and the deer told stories from the world down on the ground. But after a while, the deer began to miss its family on the meadow. Looking up at the rainbow, the deer whispered, "I love being with you, but I also want to go home and share all these wonderful things with my family." The bird and the bunny weren't sad. They both nodded gently. The bird said, "True friends keep each other in their hearts, even when they're apart." And the bunny added, "Don't worry, the rainbow will come back again. You can always visit us whenever you like." The deer felt warm inside. After a big hug with its friends, it slowly walked down the rainbow bridge back to the meadow. As it reached the ground, the rainbow began to fade away. The little deer looked up at the sky. Even though the rainbow was gone, the deer knew one thing for sure. As long as you care about each other, friends are always close at heart. Dear little one, some friends live nearby, and you see them every day. Some friends are like rainbows, appearing only once in a while. But as long as you remember each other, the bridge of friendship will always be there. Now, gently close your eyes and think. If you had your very own rainbow bridge, who would you like to meet on the other side? Carry that happy thought with you as you drift into dreams. Good night, sweet dreams.
The little hedgehog's hug.
In a quiet forest, there lived a tiny hedgehog. Every day, it watched the other animals play together. The bunny and the deer often hugged each other. The puppy and the kitten liked to snuggle close. Even the birds flapped their wings and leaned together while they sang. The little hedgehog sat quietly by the tree roots and felt a little ache in its heart. It whispered to itself, "Everyone has hugs, but I'm covered in sharp spikes. If I get too close, will I hurt my friends?" So the hedgehog only watched from far away, keeping its wish for a hug hidden deep inside. One night, the moonlight filled the forest. The little hedgehog looked up at the sparkling stars and softly made a wish. "I want a real hug too." Just then, the bunny noticed the hedgehog. The bunny hopped over and gently asked, "Little hedgehog, why are you always by yourself?" The hedgehog lowered its head and whispered, "I really want a hug from my friends, but I have so many spikes. If I get close, I might hurt you." The bunny smiled, picked a big green leaf, and carefully placed it over the hedgehog's back. Then the bunny opened its arms and gave the hedgehog a warm hug. "See? It's actually simple," said the bunny. The hedgehog froze in surprise. Then tears rolled down its cheeks. "So, I can be hugged." Its heart felt warm, like springtime. The next day, the kitten brought a soft, fluffy scarf and wrapped the hedgehog up before hugging it tight. The puppy found a furry cushion and gave the hedgehog a gentle hug, without any fear of the spikes. Soon, everyone found their own way to give the hedgehog the warmest hugs. The forest was filled with laughter and joy, and the little hedgehog finally understood it was never truly alone. Dear little one, everyone needs hugs, though sometimes they just come in different ways. Just like the hedgehog, even if someone seems prickly on the outside, with a little care, you can always find a gentle way to be close. Now, softly close your eyes and think, if you could give someone a hug tonight, who would it be? Take that warm feeling with you into your dreams. Good night and sweet dreams.
Friendship under the umbrella.
One summer afternoon, dark clouds suddenly filled the sky. Drip, drop, raindrops began to fall. Little Bunny was on the way home, but then realized, oh no, it had forgotten to bring an umbrella. It hid under a tree, watching the rain fall harder and harder, its ears and tiny feet already getting wet. Little Bunny sighed softly. If only I had an umbrella right now. Just then, Puppy came running by, holding a big, bright red umbrella. When Puppy saw Bunny, it quickly hurried over. Bunny, come under my umbrella, or you'll catch a cold. Bunny's eyes lit up in surprise. Really? I can? Puppy nodded with a smile. So side by side, they walked together through the rain. The umbrella wasn't very big, but because they stood so close, the raindrops couldn't reach them. On the way, Puppy shared stories about its favorite games, and Bunny told secrets about the hidden paths in the grass. The sound of the rain pitter, patter, splash was like a gentle song, keeping them company as they slowly walked home. Halfway down the path, they heard a small, shaky cry. It was a little hedgehog. It too had forgotten an umbrella and was curled up by a rock, shivering. Bunny and Puppy looked at each other. Without hesitation, they both scooted closer together and moved the umbrella to make more room. Come on in, Bunny waved. It's a bit squishy, but 3 friends can fit too. Hedgehog's eyes filled with tears. Thank you. I thought I'd have to stay out here in the rain all alone. And so, 3 tiny friends huddled under one red umbrella, stepping carefully over puddles, their laughter echoing through the rainy afternoon. By the time they reached the fork in the road, the rain had slowed and the clouds began to clear. A rainbow stretched across the sky. The 3 friends looked up together. The rainbow was like a bridge, connecting their hearts. Puppy patted the umbrella and said, now I know an umbrella isn't just for keeping the rain away. It can bring friends closer too. Bunny nodded. Yes, even though the space under an umbrella is small, our hearts feel so much bigger. Hedgehog smiled brightly. I think this is the happiest rainy day I've ever had. Dear little one, sometimes sharing doesn't need much at all. Just like one umbrella or a little bit of space, it can bring warmth and friendship. Now, gently close your eyes and imagine. If it rained and you had an umbrella, who would you invite to walk with you? Hold that picture in your heart, snuggle down, and let your smile carry you into your dreams. Good night, sweet dreams.